Welcome back. Let's keep this playthrough moving along, even though it is not looking fantastic. Alright, first thing we need to do, draw a Golden Dragons card. We get another Jin, and he's going to come out with 2 punch defense tokens, and he will come out on the board right here. We're going to go out swinging, so we're going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to play a card, Sonic Blade. Attack with 2 red dice. Before this attack, you may discard up to 3 cards from your hand or your fight or play area to add +1 die to this attack for each card discarded. And this is a punch attack, as noted here. We're going to discard a Commando, since we already have a Commando in play, as well as a Razor's Edge. So that's going to give us 2 additional dice, plus Commando gives us an additional dice, so we will be rolling a total of 5 dice. So we're going up against this Red Dow, who has a punch and a grapple defense token, and has 2 damage of his 6 currently on him. Rolling 5 dice. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4 successes so far. We're going to get a punch defense token, and we still need to roll 2 more dice. So 2 more successes, so that is a total of 6 punch damage being dealt to Dow. He will block 1 of them with his punch defense token and then take 5 damage, which puts him up to 7. So this Dow has been defeated. We are going to place a power on Orphan again for defeating a minion, and we're going to draw a loot card for defeating the minion as well. Martial Arts Magazine. Discard this card to choose yourself or an adjacent fighter. That chosen fighter gains 2 random defense tokens. Let's go ahead and do that now. For my 2 defense tokens, I get a kick and a punch. So I've moved, I have played a card, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to interact with the objective that I'm standing on as my interact action. And I can go ahead and move that into my player area. I am then going to exhaust Recon to shuffle 1 stealth card from my discard pile back into my deck to gain 1 of each type of defense token. And I will shuffle Commando back into my deck and gain 1 of each type of defense token. I am then going to feint Commando, which says to move 3 spaces and play 1 attack card from your discard pile. Now I did read in the FAQ that when you feint it, you resolve its ability and then you remove this card. When I play this attack card, it's going to get +1 die. So I'm going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to gain a loot, and I get a smoke bomb. Place 3 power on this card. At any time, you may discard 1 power from this card to move 1 space. Discard this card if no power remains on it. I still get to play a attack card from my discard pile. So I'm going to play a Sonic Blade, which is what we just did. So I'm going to attack with 3 dice, 2 from this card, 1 from Commando. And I'm going to discard a Snap Kick from my hand in order to gain an additional die. So I'm rolling a total of 4 dice against this purple Jin who has 2 punch defense tokens. This is a punch attack, but I also have +1 direct damage because of the weapon cache that I'm holding. So I'm dealing 4 punch damage and 1 direct damage. Looking at his card, he's going to block 2 of the punch damage coming his way and take 2 damage, as well as get a direct damage. So 3 out of 5. And then Commando goes out of play, back into my discard pile. Alright, we need to activate our threat area. So we're going to have to discard a defense token. We will discard a punch. Zane is going to gain 2 random defense tokens and advance 3 spaces towards me. He gets a punch and a kick, and he will move. 1, 2, 3. Black Typhoon Kick will activate, all long as not within 2 spaces of us, so he's going to gain 1 defense token. The blue Dow is going to advance 4 spaces towards us and try to attack, but he won't be able to. 1, 2, 3, 4. The red Jin is going to gain 1 random defense token and simply move 3 spaces towards us. He gets a grapple defense token, and he'll move 1, 2, 3. And then the purple Jin will attack us with 4 dice. So So he hits two grapple damage and 2 kick damage. We're going to block the 2 kicks, which get converted to powers. We're going to block one of the grapples, which gets converted to a power. We will take 1 damage, which puts us up to 10. And then we have to discard a defense token since we're carrying a weapon cache. That is enough power to charge us up, so we will discard 6 powers and flip over. And can't forget to draw a card, another commando. Moving on to the enemy phase, we're going to resolve the mercy effect on each card in my threat area, which means we're simply going to discard 1 defense token and we're going to discard a punch. Shadow Sun won't do anything because he already has 2 of each type of defense token. Alright, there are no stage cards in the stage area, so we will simply draw a card. The red weapon cache will come out onto the board. We survived another round. It's time to move on to the fighter phase. We will go ahead and draw a golden dragon card. And we get a merciless clutch. Each time Along attacks, he deals +1 grapple damage. Activate Along attacks each fighter within 3 spaces of him, and Along gains 1 grapple defense token from each fighter that was not attacked this way. This is a tactic that will go into play and stay into play. It's making him stronger. My card's Unexhaust. And we are ready to begin. The first thing we're going to do is discard all 3 power from my smoke bombs to move 3 spaces. So I will move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play Commando into my player area so I can get my attacks gaining +1 die. I am then going to use my action to attack with 3 red die against the blue Dow, and this attack deals direct damage, and then I have to flip this card. So it's actually going to be 4 red die, and it's going to do an additional 2 direct damage, 1 because I'm charged up, and 2 because I'm holding the weapon cache. So 4 red die. So 4 direct damage plus 2 more direct damage is 6. So the blue Dow has been defeated. And we'll put a charge on Orphaned again, as well as gain a loot card. It's a soda. During your turn, you may either give this card to a fighter adjacent to you, or discard this card to draw 1 card. We'll go ahead and discard that now to draw a card. And we get another commando. Ugh. So the only thing we've done so far is done our action step. We haven't moved and we haven't played a card. So we're going to feint our commando card in play, which says to move 3 spaces and play 1 attack card from your discard pile. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, grab a loot, see what we get. We get a turkey platter. So we get to heal 3 damage. We'll go ahead and discard that now and go from 10 damage to 7 damage. We also get to play an attack card from our discard pile. But unfortunately, all of our attacks in our discard pile, we have to be engaged. For my movement step, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 to go towards this red objective. And I'm going to exhaust Recon to shuffle 1 stealth card from your discard pile back into our deck to gain 1 of each type of defense token. And we're going to shuffle our really good commando card back into our deck. Now we need to activate our threat area. We will activate Orphaned again. So we will discard a punch defense. Zane will gain 2 random defense tokens and advance 3 spaces towards me. He will get a kick and a punch, and he will move 1, 2, 3. Black Typhoon Kick will activate, and Along will gain a kick defense token. And then both gens will activate. Will gain 1 random defense token and move 3 spaces towards me. Alright, purple gen will get a punch. Red gen will get a kick. Then they will move. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Along cannot attack, moving on to the enemy phase, so we will simply activate the mercy effect on Black Typhoon Kick. So we will have to get rid of a defense token. We will go ahead and get rid of a kick defense token. Shadow Sun would activate, but he already has 2 of each type. Along tries to attack me, but I'm not within 3 spaces of him, so he's going to gain 1 grapple defense token from me since I was not attacked this way. Then Along for the stage area is going to move 3 spaces towards the red objective. 1, 2, 3. Still need to draw a card. We get a Stray Grenade. The fighter with the fewest minions, it's going to be me, plays this card in their threat area. If this card is in your threat area, discard this card and deal 3 general damage to a figure up to 4 spaces away. Then each figure adjacent to that figure suffers 1 direct damage. Activate. This card deals you 3 general damage, then discard this card. So if we don't pick this grenade up and throw back, it's going to hurt us. Moving on to the fighter turn, we will draw a Golden Dragon card. We get a blue Djinn, and he will come on the board right here. Have to make sure we unexhaust. We will go ahead and exhaust Recon to shuffle a Snap Kick Stealth card back into our deck to gain 1 of each defense token. For my play card step, I'm going to play Commando. For my move step, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. For my action step, I'm going to pick up that live grenade. So I'm going to interact with it. I'm going to discard this card and deal 3 general damage to a figure up to 4 spaces away. Then each figure adjacent to that figure suffers 1 direct damage. So I'm throwing that grenade at the purple Djinn, who has 3 of 5 health. That will kill the purple Djinn. That allows me to place a power on Orphaned again, as well as draw a loot. I get a butterfly knife, discard this card to add 2 dice to an attack targeting a figure adjacent to you. That's fantastic. And then the red Djinn is going to take 1 direct damage, which puts him at 1 of 5 total damage. So I have moved, I have done my action, and I've played a card, but I can still do a feint effect. So I'm going to do the feint effect on my commando card, which says move 3 spaces and play 1 attack card from your discard pile. And don't forget, even though I'm feinting this card, for this attack, I'm going to get +1 die. So I'm going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to play a disarm, which is going to allow me to attack with 2 dice, but 3 because of commando. And then after this, I can discard 1 card controlled by the target or draw a card. So I will be drawing a card. Additionally, I'm going to be discarding the Leather Whip to add 2 red dice to my grapple attack, since disarm is a grapple attack. So I'm rolling a total of 5 red die for a grapple attack against the red Djinn, who currently only has 1 grapple defense. Whew, yes! Alright, so I need to roll 3 more dice. 1 because I don't have enough dice, and 2 because of the crits. So we're at 4 damage dealt so far. Alright, so 5 total damage dealt, plus 2 grapple defense tokens gained. Looking at the red Djinn, we will discard 1 grapple, and then deal him 4 damage, which puts him at 5, so yes, that gets rid of him. That puts a 5th power on Orphaned again, which gets rid of this card. And that attack actually would have done additional damage because of weapons cache that I have. Lastly, we can't forget to 1, draw a card and draw a loot. So we'll draw a card first, which is a Snap Kick, fantastic. And a loot card is Cache. At any time, you may discard this card to exhaust a minion within 4 spaces of you. So we have really done a great job of getting our threat area shrunken down. So let's go ahead and activate our threat area. So Zane is going to gain 2 random defense tokens, advance 3 spaces towards me. He will then be engaged with me, so he's going to deal me 2 general damage. 2 random defense tokens, punch and a grapple. He's going to advance 3 spaces towards me. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to deal me 2 general damage, which I will block with 2 grapple, which will charge them up. The blue Djinn is going to activate. He's going to gain 1 ram defense token and advance 3 spaces towards me. He'll get a kick. 1, 2, 3. And I will draw a card, which is another disarm. All Along will activate, but he can't attack me since we're not engaged. So we will activate the Mercy effect, which will simply discard 1 defense token. So I will discard a punch. That still leaves me with 1 of each. Shadow Sun will not activate because he has at least 2 of each type. And then he will gain a grapple defense token from me for Merciless Clutch. For the stage area, he will move 3 spaces towards the red objective. And then if he's on the spot, he will try to pick it up. So 1, 2, 3. If the boss ever has 3 objectives, we lose. Alright, we need to draw a Gone Ballistic card. Recovered Sidearm. The fighter with the least minions, it's me, attaches this card to the minion farthest from them, which is currently the blue Djinn. After the attached enemy activates, deal 1 direct damage to the nearest fighter not engaged with it. Alright, I think we have a chance. Alright, let's go ahead and draw a Golden Dragons card. It's a Wanbo, 7 health and attacks with 5 die. Are you crazy? Advance 1 space towards the nearest fighter and attack. Then if unengaged, this enemy deals 2 general damage to each fighter within 2 spaces of it. If this enemy dealt no damage during this activation, it gains 1 random defense token. He will come out on the board right here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is play a Disarm. It's a grapple attack. Attack with 2 red die. After resolving this attack, you may discard 1 card controlled by the target or draw 1 card. So we're going to use it to draw a card. So we are attacking for 2 dice, plus I'm going to get rid of this butterfly knife to discard this card to add 2 dice to an attack targeting a figure adjacent to you. So that'd be a total of 4 red dice. And we are attacking Zane. So we're hitting him for 3 grapple damage, and we're taking 2 grapple defense. Looking at his card, he will block 2 of the grapple damage and will take 1. And then because we're carrying the weapon cache, he will take a direct damage. So that gives his total damage at 5 of 9. I am then going to discard cache to exhaust the Wanbo, the blue guy, right up here. So he won't move this turn. And then I will, for my move step, I will move 1, 2, 3. And then for my action step, I'm going to move 3 as well. So 1, 2, 3. Zane is going to activate and gain 2 random defense tokens and move 3 spaces towards me. He will gain 2 grapple and move 1, 2, 3 towards me. The blue Jin is going to gain 1 random defense token and then advance 3 spaces towards me. So gain a kick and move 1, 2, 3. And we can't forget he now has that sidearm pistol, so he's going to deal me 1 direct damage. Wanbo would activate, but since he's exhausted, he will simply unactivate, and that will be his turn. And then we will draw a card, and we get another recon. Along would activate, but he can't, so he's going to make us discard a defense token due to the Black Typhoon kick in my threat area, so I will discard a grapple. Shadow Sun will not activate. I'm not within 3 spaces of Along, so he's going to gain 1 grapple defense token from me. The stage area will then activate. Along is going to move 3 towards the red weapon cache and pick it up, which will give him 2 direct damage he's dealing each time, as well as giving him 2 of the 3 objectives he needs to win. So 1, 2. Pick it up, and this weapon cache will move to his enemy area. We will then draw a card from the Gone Ballistic deck, and it is another recovered sidearm. This will be attached to Wanbo. I think that's where we'll leave it for this episode. Things are looking better and worse at the same time. We have less threats in our threat area, but now Along is only 1 objective away from winning, and we've done 0 damage on him. Additionally, I forgot that when I took that direct damage from the recovered sidearm from the Jin, I have to either discard the weapon cache, I have to put it back into play, I have to drop it, or I have to discard a defense token, so I will go ahead and discard a kick. Alright, see you in the next episode.